Hello everybody, here I am on top of the Stiperstones in Shropshire. I'd hoped for much better views, but being November the mist has come down, so can't see anywhere near as clearly as I would have liked, but the misted landscape has an atmosphere all of its own, and I thought rather than take photos, which wouldn't look great, I'd do a video explaining a little bit about the folklore and legends of this very ancient landscape. It's been inhabited by humans since the Bronze Age. There was probably a hill fort along here. As you can see, here is the ridge of the hilltop. I think we're near a place called the Devil's Chair. That might be it just there, where according to local tradition the devil likes to sit and throw himself down onto the hillside to shatter the rocks below. Apparently he hasn't got anything better to do. He's a strange chap, the devil. But the most interesting story from a historical perspective is that this misted landscape, which you can't see too much of and is quite eerie, this is the stamping ground of a semi-legendary Saxon nobleman called Eadric or Eadric the Wild, who led a revolt against William the Conqueror in the mid-11th century, a few years after the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Eadric allied with some Welsh princes in neighbouring Powys, because of course we're along the Welsh borderlands, what became the Welsh March, and ravaged parts of Herefordshire and Shropshire. The allies were eventually defeated by William, but Eadric's life was spared, and he's last seen campaigning in Normandy in William's army, as many Saxon nobles did. But his life became fused with the legend of the Wild Hunt, which is the story of a band of fairy or spectral huntsmen that, so the story goes, a couple of times a year they fly across these hills, and Eadric became their leader, according to legend. And in the centuries since, whenever England is threatened, he and his huntsmen, they appear in the sky and they fly across this rocky outcrop. I can't see them today, unfortunately, due to low visibility. No doubt they're up there somewhere. And I believe the story also goes that Eadric married a fairy wife, and they had a son who was a half demon. I'm not sure what happened to the son. Maybe he's up there with his dad flying around somewhere. But there we go. So you have this very interesting ancient landscape that is dotted with old Bronze Age burial mounds and the remains of old hill forts, fused with the legends and history of the medieval era. And even in the mist, I think you can see why these stories would arise, because it's a very eerie, evocative landscape. And now I'm going to make my way back to the car before I get completely lost. So thank you, hope you enjoyed that. Oh, I'm still going.